Lovely, thank you. So I'd say this, the essence of my practice is taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and the Bodhisattva vows.
Taizan, do you have any way of
Hey, do you
turning
need me
up?
to talk louder?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, let me hang on. Let me see if I can make the. I know because I do that. That happens to me too. Sometimes I'm trying to see if I can make it a little louder. Audio settings, input, output. Okay, output's all the way up, so I'll try to be more forthright. Just turning the screen off if I can now. There we go. Okay. So what might it mean to take refuge in Buddha? Many of you are really experienced, long-time practitioners. At any rate, I'm going to review what that might mean. And then afterwards, I'm kind of interested to hear what you have to say. And by the way, how long am I talking?
30 minutes.
Ish. Okay. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I thought. Okay. So, so in my way of thinking, the Buddha is the historical Buddha, of course, but it's it's the ability of our own selves to awaken. It's our own innate ability to wake up. That's the Buddha. It's the inner knowingness that you have in life, and the ability to meet each moment as it comes. I believe that's the Buddha. That's my experience of the Buddha. And I think that the rituals that we have, the chants that we do, it's all a way to get ourselves in touch with that greatness. There's the story of when the Buddha first awakened, or somehow shortly after his big awakening in dawn. And the story is that he was walking down the road and he ran into a little boy. And the story goes that he was shimmering with light and really beautiful, and the little boy was stunned, and he said, like, well, what are you? Are you a god? And he's like, no, I'm not a god. Well, well, are you an angel? Are you a celestial being? No, I'm not an angel. I'm not a celestial. He said, well, what are you then? He said, I'm awake. I'm awake. Now, I'll tell you that for me, to be awake during this particular time, in my life, it's a little bit, it's a little scary. It's a little bit, there's a little bit of uncertainty. There's more uncertainty than there is normally, but I strive to be awake because I think that when I'm awake, then when I'm present to what is actually happening, not the story that I'm telling myself about it. When I'm awake to what's actually happening in life, then I have a chance to take the appropriate action. So to take refuge in Buddha is to take refuge in our own ability to wake up. To take refuge in the Dharma. So one of the words for Dharma is law, or I like to think, and it's also like Dharma, it's like all of the teachings. So so all of the multitudes of books on Buddhism, on the different sutras, on all of the chants that we do, all of the sutras, all of that is the Dharma. So I think in the translation that you all do, in the morning service, it says, "I take refuge in Buddha. May all beings embody the truth." Uh, now I forgot it because I'm thinking about the Dharma one. So it's, I take refuge in Dharma. May all beings. Um, why my brain's not working right now? Sorry. I wrote down the other one, but you guys say deeply enter the sutras, wisdom like an ocean. And if when you deeply enter the teachings, when you deeply enter the sutras, they open themselves up to you. So I don't know if you've ever noticed that if you're in the middle of chanting, like maybe the Heart Sutra or something, and you'll go along and you'll be like, blah, 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 chanting, chanting. And then all of a sudden, that little piece of it will jump out to you and be like, oh, that's what that's saying. That's the way that it works. Like you go along and you're studying these things and you're chanting these things and you're doing the process. And then we'll have these little moments of awakening. To me, that's what taking refuge in the Dharma is. Or also taking refuge in exactly the way things are right now. So, for instance, one of my good friends, Kyoku, says, things are always teaching us about the way they are. So, if we're paying close attention, life is always teaching us how it is. So, to take refuge in Sangha, in the morning service, it says, I take refuge in Sangha, may all beings support harmony in the community, free from hindrance. So you know what it's like to be in a group of people. There's going to be disagreements. It's going to be difficulties, and so you just work towards harmony. You work towards getting along with each other. You work towards remembering the best in each other. So I want to take a minute to talk to you about what Dogen says. This is Dogen. Many of you know is the founder, well, one of the two founders of Soto Zen, he and Taizan. And there is a whole chapter in the Shobo Genzo, which is what this book is. It's a great big Shobo Genzo, which is one of the big works of Dogen. And then what he takes about, this is in fascicle 89. So I wonder, if you'll forgive me, Jenny, would you be willing to scoot over just a little bit so I can see your face? I see.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I just, and then I'm like, Pam, can you still see Pam back there? Okay, I just don't want to. Okay, all right. It was just so weird. I was like, I was seeing this much of you. I knew it was you. Okay, thank you so much. All right, so taking refuge in in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So this is, I'm just going to read it because I think it's so great. The first of 120 questions in the guidelines for Zen monastery says, so there's 120 questions in China and in Japan that they historically asked people when they were entering into the monastery. So the first of these is this: do you revere Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha or not? All of the questions are like that, or not. So I think that's really interesting. Do you revere Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha or not? Thus, it is clear that what the Buddha and ancestors in India and China have authentically transmitted is reverence to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Without taking refuge, there is no reverence. Without reverence, there is no taking refuge. The act of taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha is achieved through mutual affinity and interaction. Whether you are in a Deva realm, which is like angels maybe, a human realm, a hell realm, a demon realm, or an animal realm, when you have mutual affinity and interaction with Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, you invariably take refuge in them. I love this part. Taking refuge in the three treasures, you nurture yourself wherever you are. Birth after birth, world after world, you accumulate merit. So I want to take a moment to just talk a minute about refuge. When I think about refuge, I think about shelter from a storm, some place of safety when it's difficult or scary, right? And in times of difficulty, there's the tendency to be scared and to not know what to do and to be sort of desperate. And what I'll say is, in preparing for this talk, and I've given similar talks, but this is a little different just because I think maybe we're in a little bit different time. But usually, what I do is I'll experiment on myself first, and then I'll let you know how it goes. For instance, we were doing a class on the Heart Sutra, and at the very end, the little mantra at the end is Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. And so we were reading a bunch of different books. But what I did every night before, well, it's sort of like on the way to sleep and on the way to every time, all during the day, I would just say, Gate, Gate, Para, Gate, Parasam, Gate, Bodhiswaha. And I had some crazy dreams and like really intense dreams and stuff. And so, in a similar way, what I've been doing like the last week, as I've just been saying, as I'm sitting on my cushion or as I'm walking throughout the day, or playing cribbage with my husband, by the way, I've totally been kicking his butt this week. I don't know. I'm just taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I don't know what it is, but I say that, and there's this way that I feel inside that's a little bit more awake. And that sounds really so. This is the thing about Buddhism and about Zen is that I always feel like nobody is quite telling me exactly what they mean. It's because you can't exactly say it. You can't exactly say it. So I'm doing my best to tell you that the truth as much as I know it. But anyway, so I've been just saying I take refuge in Buddha, I take refuge in Dharma, I take refuge in Sangha, because even in Zen, there are for instance, there's like there's a mantra to sweet little God goes to travelers and babies. Corinne, you gave me one.
Jizo.
My brain's over.
Jizo.
Thank you. Yeah, don't you have a new Jizo? No, that's it. That's in yeah, Jizo. So there's a Jizo mantra. So there are mantras even in Zen. Even I didn't think there were when I first started, but anyway, there are. So rather than saying some mantra like Jizo, please help me, which sometimes I still do, I'll just be like, I take refuge in Buddha, I take refuge in Dharma, I take refuge in Sangha, and in doing that, um, I have felt significantly more solid on the inside. I haven't felt anything like any woo woo great, uh, swooping energy coming over me, like trying to help me. But I've just felt like, hey, I'm going to be okay. And I just think sometimes you just need, hey, I'm going to be okay. I think that's enough. Okay. So Dogen goes on in here. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but there's another piece in here where, um, and this is where he's quoting the Buddha. So it says, the world honored one said, many of you are fearful and suffering and take refuge in mountains, in gardens, in forest, under trees, or in shrines. This refuge is neither excellent nor valuable. You cannot be liberated from suffering by taking refuge in them. And what I'll also say is that for a very long time, before I got into Zen, I did more of a yogic path, and we did a lot of mantras. That's kind of why I stopped when I got into Zen, and then I sort of started again. But well, it is what it is. But I find that what these kinds of things did was they took me away from the reality of this moment. So what these mantras did was I felt better in the moment. I felt blissful, and maybe that's okay. I mean, it's good to have like some respite if you're in some difficulty. But I found that they did not necessarily help me face the world as I am, as it is. So that's why I'm an advocate of taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. On the other hand, Dogen says, if you take refuge in Buddha, and if you take refuge in Dharma and Sangha, you can always abide in the Four Noble Truths. With this wisdom, you always observe and understand suffering and the arising of suffering. You know how to go beyond suffering forever. You know the Eightfold Path. The refuge is the most excellent and most valuable of all. You will certainly become free from all suffering by taking this refuge. So I think everybody that starts on the path wants to be free from suffering, right? So this is really encouraging words. You will certainly become free from all suffering by taking this refuge. I guess the next part I want to talk about is, so I just want to do a little experiential thing. So just take a moment and find your seat. I just kind of maybe rock a little right, rock a little left, rock a little right, just kind of get settled in. And I want you to just feel the solidity of your body here. Feel your feet on the floor or feet and legs on your cushion. Feel your sitting bones. Feel your torso lengthening up through the crown of your head. So without trying to get anything, without trying to have some special experience, just notice what's here. If you like. And if you like, you can kind of inside your own awareness, inside your own mind, see what you feel in your body when you say to yourself. Again, this is optional. If you don't want to do it, don't worry about it. But if you like, try saying to yourself silently, I take refuge in Buddha. May all beings embody the great way, resolving to awaken. I take refuge in Dharma. May all beings deeply enter the truth, wisdom like the sea. I take refuge in Sangha. May all beings support harmony in the community, free from hindrance. I take refuge in Buddha. My own ability to awaken. The part of me that is already awake. I take refuge in Dharma. In the truth of how things actually are. I take refuge in Sangha. I take refuge in the community of seekers. I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Dharma. I take refuge in Sangha. Thank you.
Thank you, Taizan.
So I want to sing a song, and then if you guys, you can tell me what you think of what I said. Please be sure to tell me where I got it wrong. So I wrote this song. I like to think Tom says, the biggest room in the house is a room for improvement. So this song is called Hold On. And I wrote it kind of hoping, just as a way of encouraging people. Can you guys hear it okay? Walking into my favorite coffee house the other day, I saw a man sitting in the sun, looking pretty sad. He was drinking blue water. I came out with my double espresso and I said, man, I know I don't know you, but are you okay? He said, yeah. He said, yeah, but I didn't really believe him. I wanted to give him a little bit of hope. Something kind of like this. Hold on to all the love in your heart. Hold on, and then give it away, give it away, give it away, give it away. Remember all the beauty you've seen. Tuck it in your pocket for a cloudy day. Remember the earth always holds you. Remember the earth always feeds you. Beautiful Saturday morning at the farmer's market. We've all got our heads stuck in our iPhones. Trust me, I'm as bad as anybody, maybe not so bad as I used to be, checking those Facebook likes. When all I really want is a real connection. When all I really want is a real conversation. Hold on to all the love in your heart. Hold on, and then give it away, give it away, give it away, give it away. Remember all the beauty that you've seen. Tuck it in your pocket for a cloudy day. Now this next part is really corny, and I don't even care. I wish we could all stand in a great big circle holding hands and look in each other's eyes. What I do affects you, and what you do affects me, and all the suffering people in the world. They're my family too. give it away, give it away, give it away. Remember all the beauty you've seen. Tuck it in your pocket for a cloudy day. Tuck it in your pocket for a cloudy day. Okay. Anybody want to say anything? I have another poem if you want. Anybody online? Really, I stunned them all. Okay, I'll tell you what. It's my speciality, making people cry when I sing. Okay, let me see if I can find the one I was picking. Well, I really like this one. This is, I think it's a Rumi poem. This is a really cool book. So this is the book of poetry. This is called Love Poems from God. It's 12 voices, 12 sacred voices from East and West. It's translated by a guy named Daniel Ladinsky. And when I rode my bicycle across Canada in 2003, this book really helped me. I'm looking for, if any of you know too, like I'm looking for a book of Japanese poetry that is kind of equally inspiring. So some of y'all might know some, so shoot me an email, let me know. So, because I've been looking desperately for some Japanese poetry that speaks to me similarly. Let me just make sure. I think this is Rumi. But this is a bunch of people from kind of the East and West. Oh, I'm going to do this one instead. It's called How Did the Rose? It's got nothing to do with it. Well, maybe it does. I would say not exactly related to Buddha Dharma Sangha, and I'm sorry. It's just a poem I really love, and I thought you might love it too. How did the rose? How did the rose ever open its heart and give to this world all of its beauty? It felt the encouragement of light against its being. Otherwise, we all remain too frightened. How did the rose ever open its heart and give to this world all of its beauty? It felt the encouragement of light against its being. Otherwise, we all remained too frightened. And what I'll say is taking refuge in Buddha and Dharma and Sangha has helped me not be so frightened, has helped me be able to just step into the next moment. So I want to thank you for your attention and your practice. I'm so grateful that the Nebraska Zen Center and all of its people are there.
Thank you, Taizan.
Thank you, Taizan.
Thank you, Taizan.
Anybody have any questions, comments?
You want to do the final bows? Is that what you do next?
Yeah, unless somebody, has something to say. But
I think they're all too. I mean, you please say something if you want. You got something, Pam?
your poem brought to my attention, and your talk generally brought this this connection between the idea of refuge and the natural reaction of fear. And it just made me think of that line in the Heart Sutra, without hindrance there is no fear. It's always been one of my favorite lines of that song because, a lot of really negative things in life are driven by fear. And, I think it's a nice focus for the idea of refuge. It's freedom from that kind of fear.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Taizan. Oh,
Thank you so much.
I just want to say real quick,
Oh, yeah.
this is Jenny. It's so good to see you,
Hi. It's great to see you, Jenny.
and I love seeing you in your priest robes.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
For those of you who don't know, Taizan recently received Dharma transmission from his teacher,
Thank you.
Sosan,
I saw him sewing those
at
robes.
Clouds and Water in St. Paul. So it's really wonderful to see you. But and thank you for your talk. It was so beautiful. I was reminded of that wonderful story Reb Anderson tells in his book Being Upright about the precepts that on his deathbed, Dogen got up from his sick bed and wrote the 3 characters for Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha on, some rice paper or whatever. And then he walked around, he just kept walking around it, circumambulating Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha as he was dying.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so
That
thank
is,
you.
wow. Well, thank you for that story. That's a great story.
Oh, it's-
I mean, I did read the book, but wow,
Yeah.
that's a great story. Thank you. Oh,
Thanks
awesome.
for your talk.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for your song, and I know you might have been joking when you said it brings tears to people's eyes, but it really did. I thought it was beautiful, so I just wanted to say thank you, and I loved it. I loved all of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Benji?
Taizan, how's it going? Benji here.
Good. Great to see you, Benji.
How wonderful. So you chanted, or you said the mantra, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha throughout the day, and it had an effect on you, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Interesting. It's like in my experience, when I take a mantra, it's something that just like makes sense, most of the time. And I'm still trying to understand what all of that really means. I know I can take refuge in the Sangha because there are people here that I can hug and love, and like if I need to call them. I know for me, the Sangha is like, I don't know if I should put it more important than the other ones, but I do. I mean, I'm just being honest. So it's like to understand what it means to take refuge in Buddha and Dharma for me, I'm still trying to figure that out. And maybe I guess if I start saying it or try it out and experiment, maybe I'll start to understand it in a different way. I just wanted to touch my experience on
That's
it.
really cool. Well, can I tell you a story about that? So
Yeah.
so two things. Two things. I think I'm still trying to figure out what it means. I mean, it's ever evolving. It's not like, oh, I have it now. I totally get it. So I think that's really, it's really a great way to focus your attention. But there's this other story about Ananda and the Buddha. I don't know if you've heard about this. So so it's said that Ananda said to the Buddha, the sanghas, it's pretty important. It's kind of important, and I know I'm not getting this exactly right, but the Buddha said, no, the sangha is everything. So we don't wake up by ourselves. And I really do think that you've got something there. I think we do not wake up by ourselves. I mean, it takes this interaction with people. I mean, you got to rub up against people that you don't like, and you realize, oh, I'm just like that person. Like there's all those things you learn from everything. And I think that the taking refuge in Buddha, I really do. If you in the Lotus Sutra, it talks about how each individual has the capacity to awaken. That no matter what, eventually we will wake up. So just trusting in our own innate ability to wake up, and I think more and more in my life, I can trust myself. And it's not like the little self is like that part, the knower. Like I think that inner the, I, I'm trying to. It's kind of the BS meter. Like that part that knows what it knows. It knows the truth. So that to me is what Buddha is. The Dharma, that's an ever evolving thing. It's all of it. It's life as it is. It's all of the teaching. But anyway, I think that we are all learning together, and keep up the good work. Okay.
We close,
All
yeah.
right. Thank you. Hey, Frederick.
You have announcements?
Oh, announcements.
Ah.
Well, I'll still toss out that, a few of us are having a road trip to Kansas City this weekend. this coming weekend, and to see the Nelson Art Gallery on Saturday, and go to a concert, have some Korean dinner out somewhere, and then on Sunday morning go to the Lawrence Zen Center for their service and then ride back. So if anybody's interested in that, going along for part or all of it.
Who's driving? How much? How much?
I'm driving.
How much? Is there, can I just hand somebody some money and get to go, or because there's a hotel or what? Who's-
Yeah, take his money.
We're staying at your grandma's mansion?
Wait, where are y'all going? Where are you going?
Kansas City.
How much?
Kansas City. Oh, cool.
Okay, talk to us about it. We'll tell you all about it. You and Kim can be fun. And then, what else is coming up?
Buddha's birthday retreat is on April, the first weekend in April.
Oh, we have a little switcheroo this month. We usually have just sitting on the last Sunday of the month. It's going to be next weekend instead. And then we're going to have World Peace on the last weekend with a Dharma discussion. And then, yeah, Buddha's birthday is coming right up. So we're having a sesshin, and then we'll have a Buddha's birthday party, cake social, etc. And yeah, I just want to mention that the Zen Center relies entirely on donations. And so there is a table and a bowl by the stairway out here. In case you didn't know what Dana means, it stands for generosity, the first quality of a Bodhisattva is giving. So we always welcome donations as well.
I just wanted to
You
ask.
still have the QR code you still have the QR code that can scan it just in case you don't carry cash? Some people don't carry cash anymore.
Yeah, I don't think we have Venmo set up anymore because we didn't have a lot of people using it, and it's kind of, they're not very charity friendly or another. And you had something?
I was just gonna add, if anyone wanted to come to Just Sit next week, just know that it starts at 9 o'clock
Thank you.
instead of 10. So just putting that out there.
Right, thank you. I think that's it.
Okay.
Work practice on Fridays, Friday mornings. Jason's usually there, I'm usually there, but if anybody, has time on Friday morning, we have a couple hours of just doing work practice around the temple. And in April, we're going to start a monthly work practice period on the second Sunday of the month. So starting at 8:30 before Sunday opens in, we're going to welcome people to come in and work for an hour at whatever needs to be done around the temple. So I think that's it, unless somebody else pipes up. Okay, should we close?
Yeah, do we do the closing chants?
Yeah, let's do the 4 vows
Yeah.
on the bottom of page 2 of your sutra books.
So do we put our mats back?
You can do your simple echo. Yeah, may this
just
start.
do the city and then people can click on this and just do the 2 rings.